it's Stephie and welcome back to my channel. Juicy and I are here today for another one of our monthly Q&As, also known as #AskStephie. Please be sure to give the video a thumbs up if you like this series so I know to continue to do these every single month. So let's go ahead and jump right into it because these tend to go a little bit long. So let's get going. Simple Creations asked, please do a video expanding on different accounting jobs and what they do. I will definitely do a separate video on that. Also, can you include how to find entry-level accounting jobs? First, go to your university's job fairs. My university had a career website where local employers would post job openings. Research some local recruiting firms in your area. So for example, the DFW area, Robert Half, SNI Financial, Unity Search. There's many other ones. I'll be sure to link them down in the description box below, but they work with companies and have specific job openings and they help companies find candidates that way. So there are some entry-level positions that you can find through those. And one of y'all actually commented on there, which I really appreciate, but I'm gonna share in case y'all don't read the comment. You as the candidate don't pay anything for those firms. The company actually is the one who ends up paying for them finding them candidates. So those are the two places I would definitely look for. Other places would just be through your local accounting societies, your Beta Alpha Psi's. Those would probably be the best places to network and to find out about, open accounting jobs. Next question comes from Jerry H. She asked, is there any way to work outside of the USA with a US CPA license, specifically moving and working to Russia? Generally, yes, it is very possible, and I've actually seen job openings on LinkedIn that are asking for CPAs to relocate to other countries. The ones that I've seen recently were in Switzerland, but there's definitely that possibility. It's just a matter of finding those specific opportunities. What I would suggest is to do your research on international companies in your area, or if you're looking to relocate somewhere, looking for those specific companies' websites and going onto their careers page and finding if there's any openings that way. It's gonna take some research on your end. I feel like CPAs are widely regarded throughout the world. Depending on the country that you go to and depending on the type of work that you're doing, you may have to have a reciprocal license. I knew people from the Big Four who worked in the Dallas office and eventually relocated somewhere international. Morella asked, could you please do a video on how to act at internship career fairs and how to answer common interview questions? Yes, so for common interview questions, I will link a video that I did here in the cards. It was basically the entire interviewing process. I did provide some common interview questions, but that's a great video idea, so I will definitely do a common interview questions and answers video. In terms of how to act at a career fair and at an internship, act your best. I know that's kind of vague. Obviously you want to be yourself. At the same time, you want to be professional. You want to show that you have the finesse to be a part of a well-known company. Talking to people in a more professional manner. I say cray a lot, and even to my coworkers I'll say that, but it's like to coworkers that I'm closer to and have a more informal relationship with. So I'm not going to be over here talking to a career fair person being like, hey, my schedule right now is so cray and I'm multitasking, but I'm feeling major FOMO because I don't have an internship. Getting a job with your company would just be hot fire flames. I don't know if that's stuff that y'all say. Anyways, okay. Not as informal as you would be if you're with just like your friends or with your family. Definitely maintaining eye contact when you talk to people is huge. That'll show that you have confidence in yourself. Go to the career fair with questions. Like if you get in front of a professional, ask them questions like, what do you like about your job? What would make a person successful at your company? First impressions are so important as well when it comes to your career, your livelihood. Kinomanievs 3. What would you recommend if the bachelor's isn't accounting or business? I have an education degree. Not sure if I want to get a master's that will only let me focus on accounting since I haven't worked the field yet. If you are not sure if you are even interested in the accounting field, if you want to pursue your CPA license. If you haven't even made a decision about that, I would definitely recommend going more for like an MBA, maybe MBA in accounting. Because you don't have a bachelor's degree in accounting, it's going to be a little harder for you to be CPA eligible. If you wanted to be CPA eligible, I would definitely recommend going for a master's in accounting. I'm not sure how many hours that would be, but you need a certain number of hours of business and accounting. So if you are unsure about it, I would probably go for an MBA, because I feel like that's a little bit more universal and you'll still get some accounting knowledge, but you'll also have more business and finance kind of courses as well. It is very common for individuals to become accountants and get their CPA license even when their original bachelor's wasn't accounting. If you're not even sure if you want to go into accounting, I would recommend taking a basic accounting class maybe at your local community college. That way it's a cheaper way to learn about accounting and even see if you're interested in it, because you may not even be interested. Michelle and Patch asked, I see that you didn't go for your graduate degree. Do you think not getting a graduate degree has prevented industry jobs, or is a CPA better than a graduate degree? In my experience, between leaving public accounting twice, y'all, I've been on a lot of job interviews in my career, and I have not once been ineligible or been told, oh, because you don't have a master's in accounting or because you don't have an MBA, you're not eligible, or they don't want to see you. Like, that's never been a hindrance for me, especially for the jobs that I have applied for, meaning general accounting roles, internal audit, external audit or public accounting, financial reporting, so things that are non-tax related. In my experience and observations, I honestly think a CPA license trumps a master's. If you're looking at a CPA versus someone who's has a master's or MBA, not a CPA, I definitely think a CPA has more weight. Obviously, the CPA is a very hard exam to pass. It takes a lot of grit, a lot of dedication, and it's very technical. Would I recommend a master's degree or a CPA? I would definitely say get your CPA. Now, if you want to get your master's and then your CPA afterwards, that's even better. If I had to choose between the two, CPA is definitely the one that packs the most punch. And some people may disagree with me. I can't stress that enough. I honestly think that if you want to progress your career in accounting and you want to be marketable and competitive and you want to increase your salary potential, I honestly think a CPA is the way to go. Like I said, it's not tax related. I'm only specifically referring to general accounting, audit, that type of stuff. Noor Hirabawi asked, do you advise to start a firm after being a staff for 2 years? I feel that working by my own really helped a lot more to increase my experience and better paid. I do not think it would be wise to start your own accounting firm after only a couple years of experience, unless you were like exposed to so much in those first 2 years. I think from a liability risk perspective, I personally wouldn't have felt comfortable after 2 years of being a staff in terms of like if I wanted to start my own like CPA firm and do audits of small companies or mom and pop shops that need audited financial statements. I don't know how comfortable I would feel doing that personally. I mean, everyone is different. I just feel like you need to be exposed to just a lot. I mean, there's something to say about getting your education and learning the theoretical parts of accounting, but there's also something to say about on-the-job experience, and sometimes that experience takes time. Now, if you're talking about doing like bookkeeping for other companies, in that regard, I definitely think that that's possible, but I would just caution you to still have a mentor and to still have someone who's going to help you. But everyone's risk levels are different. I think that if you had enough exposure to enough complex things and you got the full view, like the full cycle of something. But that is not to say that it's not possible. I'm just giving you my personal perspective from my experience. I'm not saying don't follow your dreams. If that is something that you want, that is your desire and that is your passion, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying it's risky. At any point in time, if you start your own business, it's gonna be risky. How confident are you in your own skills and your own knowledge and your own expertise? Either way, I wish you all the best and more power to you. If you want to start your own business, of course, go for it. You know what I mean? Joy asked, can you share more about how and why you started YouTube? I'm studying for CPA and wish there were more accounting YouTubers. Definitely, Joy. I actually want to do like a full video on it, just to give y'all my full-on story. Also, I was thinking if you guys want me to talk about like the equipment that I have, I mean, it's nothing fancy, but just to give you guys an idea, be sure to let me know in the comments and I'll for sure be sure to do a video about that as well. Like what you actually need versus, you know, just what would be nice to have. Maricela Gonzalez asked, I'm wondering if I could get a job with an associate and if you think I could get a really good job later on after I get some experience. Also, do you think I could do accounting work for our new business or do I need to get a CPA? So in terms of doing accounting work for your own business, I think when you first start out, when you are a small business, if you have accounting knowledge, for sure, do your own accounting. However, the more complex it gets and the more time consuming it gets, it may be a good idea to get an outside accountant to do that for you. But I would think in the very beginning stages of your business, you would want to keep expenses as low as possible for yourself. So if you have accounting knowledge, for sure, do it on your own. It's of course risky because if you've never had true accounting experience in real life, you don't know if you're making mistakes or not, but so that's kind of a risk. You can definitely get a job with an associate's degree. It's going to be limited though, just like being bluntly honest with y'all. I had clients who had people who had associate's degree or didn't even have a degree and they worked their way up. However, at a certain point in time, you're not gonna be able to move up further because the higher up you go in accounting, the more technical expertise you have to have, and unless you're exposed to it on the job or if you do your own research in the accounting standards, you know, an associate's degree only teaches you so much. But you can definitely get some good experience, and if you're in the right company, they'll, you know, continue to promote you and move your way up, possibly have a good job with an associate's degree. Just knowing the corporate layout of things, it would be a lot more beneficial for you if you pursued a bachelor's degree. But if you get into the right company and they see that you're a good worker and you continue to increase your accounting knowledge, then of course, you know, that it's definitely possible to grow your career at that specific company. You know, like, even though all of my answers that I'm giving y'all are just what I've personally observed, but don't take my word for the law or what's gonna happen for you. If you put in the work, if you have good work ethic, you can make things happen for you for sure. Be the exception, and that would be amazing, and I would love to hear y'all's experience, and I want to hear about y'all doing amazing things, breaking the mold of the traditional corporate structures. David A. asked, currently in public accounting, but one day wants to move to industry because it's just too much work. What I'm afraid of is that public accounting is interesting, you never get bored. I'm afraid that when moving to industry, everything would be too much of a routine. You think that's the case for most accounting related jobs, controlling, etc. I definitely had the same concern and fear that I would get bored, because in public accounting, when you first start, you're like, I don't know what's going on, this is so confusing, moving like a million miles an hour. But I feel like you become desensitized to it, and that's what you become like used to. You're used to like that fast-paced, deadline-driven, chicken with your head cut off, and that's what makes you feel like busy or productive, and that's not necessarily the case, but I definitely had the same concern about being bored. I will say that when I was in my general accounting job for like 6 months in between the two public accounting firms, that was definitely very routine. It did get a little boring during the day, but then again, I was able to have a hobby outside of work. I was able to go and work out during lunchtime. That pace was kind of nice because it wasn't all work related. I was able to do things for myself, for self-care, for my personal life, for my hobbies. That was kind of nice, but I definitely can see that it would get boring after a while. I think it really depends on the job that you get, because my current role, I'm in internal audit, so it's exciting in that regard, but at the same time, I'm not working constantly. Like, I'm not working 50, 60-hour weeks a lot. There might be a one-off week here or there when a deadline's coming, but for the most part, like, I think because of the job and the company that I'm at, things are exciting, and I'm like almost never bored. You know, of course, every now and then things can get boring. You finding first, the right company that has the right kind of energy that you're looking for is key. Secondly, looking for a career path or a job that you're gonna be happy with for at least a few years. I know in public accounting, it's like you always feel like you're progressing in your career because every couple years you're getting a promotion. I personally don't equate that hecticness to productiveness anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. I think that we as public accountants start to think like, oh, if this was what I was doing with my day job, that's so boring. But you really don't see other things behind the scenes. It's all about finding the right job, the right duties, the right company that you're working for. That will help you when you transition into industry. Outside of that, I feel like when you leave public accounting, you now have all this free time, and it's very easy to be like, oh my God, am I not doing anything with my life anymore now that I'm not working all the time? You have to find something outside of work for yourself, whether that's a hobby, whether that's working out or reconnecting with the people you love. We get so used to being focused on work, and then that makes us feel like we're fulfilled in life, and it's like, oh, my work is what makes me feel alive or makes me feel important or whatever. There's so much more to life than just work. There's more to just making deadlines and whatnot. You have to find something outside of work that fulfills you and makes you happy, and know that it's okay. Like, just because you are constantly working and then you are no longer doing that, it doesn't mean that you're wasting your life. It just means that you now have more time to devote to things. So that's that. I'm gonna run over to my Instagram real quick and answer a few questions on there. Sandplan on Instagram asked, where do you get your outfit inspo from? I would say my favorite style inspos are Mariana Hewitt. I love her. Love Jessica Alba. Alexandria Garza. She's one of my faves as well. Meghan Markle. Those are the people who, like, their style I think matches my aesthetic as well. So whenever I see their outfits, I'm always like, ooh, that's so cute. I've been a lot more leaning towards like chic, put together, but also just like not fussy. Does that make sense? Okay. The Rose Has Teeth asked, do you have any advice for someone who is studying accounting and has an interest in consulting? A lot of the big fours and mid-tier firms actually have a consulting arm. Network with those people whenever you go to career fairs, asking about those consulting jobs, saying that you have an interest in it. Also looking for consulting firms if you want to start somewhere. So for example, Protivity is a consulting firm for internal audit. If you were to go into public accounting, I think it's a great place to get basic knowledge, and then you could always transfer to the consulting department after a couple of years. Happy Sao Bay asked, do you think there will be a big need for tax people after the changes in the tax regulation? Yes, I definitely think that there will still be a demand for tax people. Y'all aren't going nowhere, okay? Mint Studies asked, what kind of jobs should undergraduates try to get? If you can get a job in the field that you're going into, that would be great. But honestly, I don't think that's absolutely necessary. I think having a job, period, is important for your resume. When you're first getting out of college, most employers aren't looking for relevant work experience. They're looking to see if you were able to work and still do well in school. It shows them that you can multitask, that you can juggle priorities. So I think getting work experience, period, would be great. But of course, if it's relevant, that would obviously be best. But I honestly think just work experience, period, is what's necessary. Otherwise, if you don't work during school, then being active on campus is important. So being a part of some organization, doing charity work. When deciding which schools to apply for transfer to, what kind of accreditation must they have in USA? If you're wanting to be a CPA, make sure that they are AACSB accredited. Otherwise, I think that's pretty much it. And then what kind of planner system works best for you? So personally, in my current role, I have been using a weekly horizontal layout. I find that that works best for me now. I don't really use monthly planners because I use my Google Calendar for that, and I'm all about efficiency these days. Like, I can't be bothered to have to do it in 2 different places because hashtag ain't nobody got time for that. Hashtag I don't have time for that, should I say. I'm sorry. There are some people who like that, and you know, more power to y'all. Back in the day, I used to use a day designer, which I loved. I thought it was awesome. When I was in public accounting, that's the planner that I used, and it was great. It was by the hour, and it also had a to-do list, and that was great for me. Momo Bear asked, dealing with social anxiety at the office. Coworkers ask me to lunch, but I make excuses. I definitely have felt that and do feel that at times. Push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Really just give it a chance. Maybe you won't even talk all that much, but I think putting yourself out there and putting yourself in those situations as much as you possibly can only help you. A lot of my anxiety that I get whenever I'm in groups and whatnot, it's more like I keep thinking about, oh, what are they thinking of me? Or I'm thinking about what ifs, and I'm not like in present time, or I'm thinking about something, some bad situation that happened to me in the past, and that's why I'm uncomfortable going and doing something, or I'm thinking about consequences in the future if I do something. And I find that at times just being in the present moment has definitely helped. Be kind to yourself and give yourself those opportunities, but at the same time, don't go against your own integrity. If there's something about your coworkers or those people that is causing you to be kind of like, I'm not quite sure if I want to spend my time, then, you know, listen to that intuition. It's kind of a balancing act, giving it a try, and if it doesn't work for you, being kind enough to yourself to say, okay, it didn't work for, you know, that's not what I want to spend my time on, and that's okay. And last question is from Nere Dag Feltman. She asked, good quality business laptop bags for travel recs, please. Personally, I love my Dagny Landon carry-all. I have it in the small and in the medium size. The small works for me. I can do a updated what's in my bag, but I use the small now for work because I'm just transporting my laptop to and from my car basically. But I have used it on previous business trips back when I went to Toronto, sorry. Y'all told me it's Toronto, not Toronto. Also have like a rolling laptop bag because it's just easier for me to get in and out of airports, and doesn't hurt my shoulders and stuff like that. I actually had a company reach out to me about stylish like laptop bags. I might give that a try just so that I can see if it's any good, share that with y'all. All right, y'all, so my battery is now dying, so I think that's my camera telling me to hurry up and wrap up the video. So I think those are all the questions I'm gonna take today. Thank y'all so much for participating and contributing to these videos. I really appreciate y'all. If you have any questions you want me to answer in next month's Ask Stephie, then be sure to leave them in the comments below. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Be a part of our Stephie fam because we would love to have you. And I will talk to y'all in my next video. Whew, I'm thirsty. So good and tasty. I have water on the top of my lip now. Yo, hey dude, like major FOMO right now if I don't, you know, get a job with your company. I don't know, I'm trying to use all the younger lingo, but you know what I'm saying? I will try to pronounce this one. Sorry y'all. Lighting's gonna be kind of off and on because we have had so much rain in the past week. Lighting's gonna be playing some games, y'all, so please bear with me. Y'all are so adorable, I love y'all so much. Ooh, this is a good one. No. Uh-oh, I can't. Girl! Oh. Thursday on top of no ma'am. Okay, sorry, I'm just gonna talk because I can't. You know, it has to do with I don't know anymore because can I eat the rest of your pizza? Or are you gonna eat it? Cause I'm hungry again for some reason. I guess that's the end of this video. She thinks it's funny too, huh? Jujubee cutie. I really like that pizza a lot. That whole it is, it's beautiful. For real, babe. Like, so perfect. Hashtag so dark. And it was only on our first try. One and done, y'all. One and done, Juju. Okay, let's finish this up.